Hi guys, welcome back to Sirius Is TV. Hope you're all keeping well and have had a good start to the year. On tonight's show, coming up, we'll be taking a quick look at the Sirius debate, which we'll be chatting about in a bit. We get to hear more from Lucas and his film reviews, and we'll also be talking to the college about their esports and their team. But first, let's take a look at a few clips from the Sirius Is debate. Studio, roll the VT. Hiya, welcome back to Sirius Debates. We're back for another episode, number 2. Here's just some clips from tonight's debate. Yeah, I hope you enjoy.
If we don't count TikTok.
April, Easter.
Oh, we're hungry.
Robots are kind of cool. Why are we not supporting that?
That's not happening.
Sweatshops.
You're just realising you've like dug yourself a little hole.
I grew my entire family. 2 robots. 2 robots.
We're living in a material world.
On the ball, we'd be like Wally.
Neither of you are going to see eye to eye on this at all.
A road man.
Off the face of society, become a retreat.
Moms would come up to me with their children.
Men doing the cooking and the cleaning.
It's turned me into a communist.
Okay, so now we are joined back here with Elliot.
Hi everyone, hi, I'm back here again. Wow.
Couldn't stay away.
Hi,
Cheer.
hey everyone in the BTS. Nice to see you again. How you guys doing today? You guys are doing it?
Oh, we're doing great. Well, with the interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Shall I take control?
How are you doing today? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
He's doing great.
Yeah. Guys, we did another debate. Oh my goodness.
Crazy times.
How exciting is that? I thought it was a really good debate, this one.
Yeah, I
thought
think
it
it
was
was.
really-
It got very,
we got
very
really
heated. The
angry.
whole 45 minutes just talking about robots.
Yeah, whose fault was that?
Yeah. Who's fault was that?
Yeah.
We
tried
just
to-
sat there both scratching our heads. Like, it was good.
No, I thought it was great. Yeah, I had a really fun time talking about the stuff that we did. I can't wait for the people in the audience to watch back at this great debate. I really highly recommend that you watch this one. Making levels, we're always making improvements here at Sirius.
The hanger was getting real as well.
Can we also talk about the hanger was I was thinking. Can we also talk about the set too? Look at the set right now, guys. Look, we're moving up in the world. Can we give a round of applause to the people behind the set too? Great job, guys, at Sirius. Always making the improvements. Look, it's going to be a great year for us.
100%.
Already started with a banging debate.
Go on.
Yeah? We're all
Yeah.
excited. Are you guys
Love it.
excited?
I'm very
100%.
Yeah? Is there anything in the pipelines that you're excited to do?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing, got some things planned like with flying and stuff, so that's definitely going to be a
Flying?
good-
You're going to fly a plane?
Yeah.
You
That's
actually
like, you have no idea, I've been waiting for so long to do it, I'm like really buzzing about it.
you're going to fly a plane? Are you going to fly a plane?
I can fly a
Can you
plane.
imagine me? My feet wouldn't be able to reach the seat. Neither will yours. Neither will yours.
Yeah, maybe you just have the person in the back and then you sit in the back and then you just like thumbs up.
I'm happy to sit at the back, but maybe
Just
not if
chill.
you're just flying.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What are you saying? I'm going to be a great flyer.
I'm
Pilot, same
saying,
thing.
I just
Well, I can't wait to see that. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been a great debate. We had a great debate. We'll definitely
Good to
have
kick
more
off
of them.
that.
How often are we going to do them? Did we say every half term? Is that correct? Around the corner?
Yes, I mean,
Yes,
fact
I'm
check,
getting
yeah.
waves. I'm getting waves and yeses. So every half term, we'll be doing a debate. If you have any topics yourselves that you want us as young people to answer and kind of have a little discussion about, maybe have some heated conversations, maybe not as heated as our robot one again, but if you have any
that was
debates,
so pointlessly angry.
there really was no need.
There
for
was
it.
We went
no
from
outcome.
robots and stuff to communism.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, it's crazy. But if you guys have any debates that you want us to talk about, please let us know, put it in the comments, send us messages on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much anything. TikTok, we're on TikTok now. Any of our platforms, go message us on different debates. But yeah, thank you very much for having me on for this little bit.
More than
yeah,
welcome.
all good, all good.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's
guys.
really an honour.
Knock it out. Knock
Oh,
out the
not
rest of
having
the
you
show for
back.
us. Oh, thanks for my one supporter in the crowd over there. I appreciate you.
Okay, so we've now got Lucas, who's back to do some film reviews. So yeah, over to Lucas, film reviews.
But first, before we get on with it, welcome. And for my non-English speaking viewers, welcome. I welcome you twice as hard. And we're doing some more film reviews. Last time I checked, let's get on with the first film is Ghostbusters Afterlife. I know it came out in November. I don't care. This is my segment. I can do whatever I want.
Okay, so first question, tell us, what is it about?
So basically, this is about the grandchildren of Egon, one of the original Ghostbusters, who he dies, and they go into his house, and then the kids must stop the end of the world, or something similar to that.
Like, so does it live up to like the original films?
In my humble opinion, yes. Oh look, it's Paul Rudd. Who doesn't love a bit of Paul Rudd?
Hey,
What's that?
I'm not sure about that one. Hey, yo, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, now let's go on with it. I think it does live up to the hype of the original. You know how in the last few years there's been these sequels made decades after the originals. You know, you've seen that trend recently a lot. This is one of the better ones, and I surprisingly really liked it. Obviously, there's Finn Wolfhard from
Of
that
course.
Netflix show. What's it called?
Stranger
Stranger
Things.
Things.
Yes, whatever that is. No one knows what that is.
What do you mean no one
That's
knows
like
what
the
it
one
is?
thing that
No
makes
one knows what
Trump
it is. What do you mean?
I was kidding. That's what I do for a living. There's this character, and his name is Podcast. I thought it would be annoying, and he was surprisingly kind of funny. And this is Egon's granddaughter, who is the main character of this film. Yeah, and she has a joke that's not meant to be funny, but I was the only person in my cinema who laughed at it. It was so unfunny, it became funny. It's the full circle.
Well, at least it became funny. At least that was.
Do you want to hear the joke? What it was?
Go on.
I don't know.
What do you call a polar bear once it's after it's died?
What?
Anything. It won't hear ya.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is what it looked like. Okay. Okay. Next question.
Class.
The humour is so broken.
Really. So how does it actually rank among like the other films?
Okay, let's do some ranking from best to worst. Number 1, the best one, it's obviously the original. Number 2 in second place is this one. Number 3 is Ghostbusters 2, 1989. And in last place, the 2016 one.
Really? Not a fan of that one.
We don't
It
know.
was
It was meh.
it was
what
the
it
most meh film I've ever seen in the cinema.
Cool.
Next, hold on. Next film.
So the next film is Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. So what is it about?
It is about Claire Redfield. She revisits her hometown and realises that evil zombie things have been released due to a virus, and her brother is Chris Redfield. And they must get out and stop them before bad stuff happens.
Nice. So what games is it like an adaptation from?
It is an adaptation of Resident Evil 1 and 2, which came out on the PlayStation 1, and nobody in this room was alive when that came out, except for one person in here who's going on there.
Oh, I don't have to point him out.
Sorry,
Oh, he's gonna
sorry.
feel old now.
Prehistoric Nick in the corner.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, Nick.
So would you say that this film is a scary film?
No.
No?
Okay, this is going to be a massive rant now. The CGI looks terrible. Like, there was a bit in it where a guy gets set on fire and he just walks, and I genuinely bursted out laughing. It was meant to be scary, and it made me laugh.
It's just one of those funny moments.
Because
Then.
this film only had a $25 million budget, which
Right.
sounds massive, but in Hollywood terms, that's nothing.
We did agree this earlier, didn't we? Because I was like, oh, you know what, actually, that's a lot. They could have maybe got better CGI. And you were like, no, it's nothing. It's
As
nothing.
somebody
Nothing.
who's a nerd, massive loser, this
Oh,
is the
don't say
group.
that
These
about
are okay. These are meant to be characters from the games. That is Blake, Wesley something. I forgot. Jill Valentine also forgot, and that's Chris Redfield. And this is
It can't have
technically.
been that great if you forgot.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a good movie. You can't remember that.
It's ranked second. I forgot all that.
It was a fine video game movie. Not one of the worst. There have been worse ones. This isn't even the first Resident Evil movie. I think it's like the 7th or 8th, one of them. And it's probably the best one, 'cause none of them are that good. Like, I think you'll only really like it if you like the games, and not even that much. Next film.
Okay, so the next film is Kingsman. Could you please tell us what this is about?
So basically, it's set in World War One, a long time ago, and it's about this evil.
Is anyone in this room alive for that?
entire movie.
Sorry.
So basically, it's World War One, and there's this evil group of people. There's Rasputin, who's a member of it, and they're trying to take over the world, basically. And Ralph Fiennes, he must come in and stop them. And it's have any of you guys seen the Kingsman films?
I have not.
This is the prequel to it. It's about how they formed. And obviously Ralph Fiennes pulls in a fantastic performance because it's Ralph Fiennes. He's amazing. This is his son.
And how would you rank this film with the rest of the Kingsman films?
From best to worst, like I'm really good at. Number 1 is obviously Kingsman, The Secret Service. This is middle. It's mid, as the kids say on the TikToks. And in last place, it was the Golden Circle. That was just a bit. Next question.
Do you think it stands out from the rest of them? Or?
I think it stands on its own because you don't really need to know about the original, the other two, to get into this film, because you could just say, that's just my opinion. But it's a really fun. It's not serious. For something, biggest problem in this film is the tonal clash. It's like one bit, it's a really serious trench scene. Next bit, a guy with one leg's like, hello. Like, it's a really weird tonal shift at random points.
Yeah.
But the emotional moments do work.
Mm-hmm.
And Rasputin, he's in it not much, but he's the funnest villain in the whole film. He's just a fun time with a person who's absolutely terrible in real life.
Oh.
He's a genuine terrible person, but he's so much fun in this. Oh, that's Ralph Fiennes with his son. Again, how nice. Next film. I'm really excited for this one.
Okay, so just quickly, a lot of people want to watch this film if they haven't already. So when I ask you, what's it about? Don't give
This is
any
going to be the
spoilers.
hardest film to talk about. And also, did you realise I got a Spider-Man at every photo? Look.
You're supposed to say that at the end.
Oh,
We're talking about how bad the Spider-Man poster is. Look how tragic
It's a
that
bit
is.
generic, but
How tragic is it? I could do a better job than that.
It kind of looks like they just got like Adobe and was like.
okay.
You know,
It looks worse than
Just chuck it all
Adobe.
in.
Sorry, Lucas.
Basically,
even Adobe is
so
like.
that's okay. After the events of Spider-Man No Far From Home, Peter Parker's life is ruined because Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah, I knew that would happen.
Not
So basically, everyone knows who Peter Parker is, and everybody wants him. Well, half the people want him gone, half the people love him, and then he tries to erase everybody's memory of him being Spider-Man, and then multiverse stuff. Okay, so basically, villains from the past and a few other things, a few other surprises come into play.
Would you say it's very nostalgic?
The film does feature a lot of nostalgia, of course. Of course, the film is very based around nostalgia of the Sam Raimi and Amazing Spider-Man films. Like it features my boy, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, pulling in a masterclass performance, as always, because he's really good at his job. And this is, I say, is probably better than his performance in Spider-Man 1 back in 2002.
And would you say the cameos in it are surprising?
How do I say it without saying them blatantly? Yes, there were some really surprising cameos which made me go, oh, it's the person in the, it's me. I saw it from opening night, I did. So the crowd was like, oh my God, it's
Them!
not saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weirdest part was when Batman showed up.
Whoa,
Sis, come on, what?
Batman was the weirdest cameo ever. It's like, it's weirdly enough, it was
Wait,
George.
they had a DC character in a Marvel film.
Mate, it's
Yeah,
the
it's really
craziest
weird.
thing ever.
No, it wasn't.
Wouldn't
The
believe
weirdest
it.
part it was that it was George Clooney's Batman from Batman and Robin. Weird cameo. He just ate a sandwich for like 20 minutes. It was a weird 20 minutes, ain't it? That was a weird. That's the stupidest.
And now
joke
everyone knows.
That's the stupidest joke I've ever told.
Yeah.
Can I go through something I did beforehand? I added a Spider-Man in every single bit. Like this has the 60 Spider-Man swing and look across the logo. You see, it's the Spider-Man pointing meme. That's on the internet. That's on the internet. That's
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. I see
20
that.
minutes of Batman just sat there in a
Basically,
sandwich.
in the Green Goblin image,
All right, let's see it. Wait.
it's the Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Because there's a Japanese Spider-Man. He has a giant robot. And I was going to use the image of him with a machine gun.
Oh yeah.
Because I love it. I don't know. And here you see Spider-Verse Spider-Man sitting around drinking a coffee, which is quite nice in my opinion.
Oh, how lovely.
Overall, I loved it.
I'm more offended you haven't included a picture of Zendaya, but it's fine.
How do I say this in nice terms? I did not see this movie from Zendaya. I saw it for Willem Dafoe.
No, it's
I
fine.
love Willem Dafoe.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Zendaya, she's good in the movie.
Oh,
she's a
okay,
good love interest
okay.
for Peter. But Willem Dafoe is why I saw
Good
this
interest
film.
for Tom Holland as well, because they're dating now, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they are. Isn't it weird that every single
swear they've
live
dated,
action
like,
Spider-Man
5
couple was
separate
dated?
times.
They might have
Like-
done. I don't know.
Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield dated. I think Tobey Maguire
Oh my god,
and
Andrew Garfield.
Tobey Maguire and who played MJ in the Raimi trilogy? Kirsten Dunst. They dated in real life for a bit. It's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, it is really weird.
Crazy.
It's
Weird
publicity stunt,
coincidence
that's what it
that
is.
every
Let's
single
watch
live action
Troy Bolton
Spider-Man.
and Gabriella Montez did.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
That is it.
Actually, before we go on with anything else, I've got an announcement to make. Starting from tomorrow, there's going to be a weekly version of this where I'll go over one film a week. And tomorrow's premiere episode is of Tick Tick Boom.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
I ain't saying my opinion on it. I'll come
It's
back
got Andrew
tomorrow.
We'll
Garfield.
find
Yeah,
out
we'll
tomorrow.
come.
Go Andrew
Oh,
Garfield.
4 p.m.
Gotta
tomorrow.
watch it.
Nice.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lucas.
Thank you very
so
much
much.
for
Thank you so
coming.
much.
We'll see you
Yeah, see you guys.
soon.
I'm off.
Okay, so now we are going to watch a VT of Esports, which we did last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Studio, roll the
Roll the
VT.
VT. Okay, so we are back here again with Martin, who's going to talk about esports, and he is from the Colchester Institute. So, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So, our first question is just kind of like define esports, like what is it?
So the way I define esports is competitive gaming on a national level. So groups of people coming together online with video games, creating teams, and then duking it out to win a cash prize.
Very nice. What So, what is like the history of esports? Where did it start and how has it progressed?
So the history of esports kind of starts with, you can kind of trace it back to 1972 in the US at Stafford University, where they held a space war tournament, which was very, very successful. After that, during the sort of early 80s, I think there was a Space Invaders tournament. And then going into the 90s, Sega and Nintendo held some competitions in the US that were for speedruns, essentially for Sonic the Hedgehog and for Mario's, I think it was Super Smash Bros. 2, I think it was, which was very, very successful. Netflix covers a series on it. Can't remember the name of the series now, but it sort of covers that. And moving into sort of the late 90s, 1997, we had the Red Annihilation tournament, which was hosted through the game Doom, and that was what really sort of caught people's attention. And then, from there, we kind of find ourselves sort of in the early noughties where modern day gaming sort of takes place, and then we have the rise of games like Dota, which was a mod for Warcraft 3, that really sort of, the whole esports scene, we give it thanks to South Korea, really. And when we think about how the games industry evolved, it evolved in two places, quite independently from each other, both in the US and in the East. So, I mean, we kind of, it's quite funny how sort of competitive gaming sort of started over in the West, but then took hold really in the East. And really, I mean, we owe the success for esports to a game called StarCraft. Which became very, very popular in South Korea, and then from that, we have sort of esports as we know it today.
Yeah, cool. Why is it considered sport? Because I know there's like quite a lot of like a debate kind of whether it is classed as an actual sport or whether it's like just called esports.
So it's a tricky one. So esports, many people don't consider it to be a real sport as such, and there is a large debate within the industry in regards to this. I mean, there are people who are trying to get esports into the Olympic Committee, which I think one day will certainly happen. We know the trouble that darts had being recognised as an Olympic sport. And I think one day, esports will certainly get there. Whether it'll be hosted under something else other than the Olympics, I don't know, but certainly there is growing demand for it across the world. So, it's certainly growing in popularity.
Do you consider it a sport?
I would, It's a different kind of sport, but I certainly would consider it a sport. When you think about all the training that goes into the training that esports players have to endure, I mean, it's no different from if you're playing a game of football, where again they would have practice days where they would practice in their roles. Whether you're an attacker, a defender, or a support role within football, the same is true for esports as well. So
it's more like the technical and like mental side of it rather than the physical side of it. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, and along with esports, there's a lot of hand-eye coordination which also takes play as well. So again, when you think about first-person shooters as well, like Valorant or even games like Fortnite, again, it requires a lot of dexterity to play.
Yeah.
So and that's something which can only come through practice,
of course,
and through training.
You were mentioning about football earlier, and obviously how it they're all sports, they kind of go under the same umbrella. Mm-hmm. And obviously from football you can earn quite a bit. How much can you earn, or like what's like the most like biggest prize you could really get from esports?
Esports. Well, I mean, when we think about esports, so they will play for certain sort of, I won't say sponsors as such, but for large corporations. So the ESL, for example, which is the Electronic Sports League, will run large tournaments and will fund teams to play for their tournaments. Mm-hmm. You could find yourself getting into the industry that way as being an esports player. In terms of prize money that can be won, I mean, depending on what sort of game we're talking about. And a few years ago there was a British lad who won, I can't remember the exact figure now, but it was going into the millions.
For a market amount,
it was either Rocket League or Fortnite, I can't remember which now. But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of money to be won. And again, if you played for a team, you would just split the earnings essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's growing demand for it. And when we look at, when we track the prize money and how it's sort of tracked over the years, the prize money for a lot of these big esports tournaments has just got bigger and bigger. So again, I think, in the future we can also sort of see that. Well, I think we can predict that will just grow further.
Yeah, keep developing. Cool.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned about like all like the kind of different games and stuff. Like, what would you say is the most kind of popular genre among like esports at the moment?
I'd say two. I'd say battle royale games and arena shooters would be the two most popular types of esports games at the moment. MOBAs not so much. I think if you'd asked me about 5 years ago, I would have said the MOBA genre, which is multi-battle, multiplayer online battle arena.
Can you kind of explain like what these are like?
So MOBA is games like Dota or Dota 2, as you'd know it, or games like Smite. You would then, or another one would be League of Legends. You have arena shooters such as Valorant, and I think the other one, off my head, Overwatch. And then obviously you have so battle arenas and what was it I mentioned? Battle Royale. Battle Royale, which would be games like Fortnite, and yeah, Fortnite's one that comes to mind at the moment. I can't think of another one. My mind's gone blank.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'd say a lot of people probably our age play Fortnite or
I'd say yeah, battle royale is definitely like I consider that one of the top ones.
Yeah.
I've actually heard it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's
PUBG
well
as well.
heard of.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these games are well heard of, but obviously people that I know personally probably just play it just kind of for the fun of it. How would you say, like, why should people get into esports as more of like a profession as opposed to just a fun hobby?
As a profession, esports is quite. I think it has a lot of benefits. Working for a young person getting into esports, the biggest benefit I think it allows is development of team building skills, which prepares you essentially to get into any sort of industry. I mean, any sort of workplace, you're essentially building up to be compatible to work within a team of people, and esports allows for that, working within a variety of different roles. I mean, when we consider the different things that we offer here at the Colchester Institute for young people, I mean, we cover everything from video production to content creation. We look at esports skills in general, such as what it means to be an esports player, the health and well-being of esports players, so both mentally and physically, and how you can look after yourself. We cover digital marketing quite heavily. So the games industry in of itself, and again, esports owes its success to the rise of the games industry. And when you consider how much the games industry has grown, I mean, today, globally, the games industry takes more per capita than what the film and TV and the music industry does combined. And that's globally. So you can understand why esports has grown as big as it has, because it's a subset of the games industry. And along with that comes a lot of the marketing tools that games has, I think, led to. I mean, when we think about how games are marketed, I mean, millions and millions and millions of people around the world play video games. And the sale of those video games need to be marketed, whether that be through online journals, whether that be through video trailers, live streams, etc. And I mean, video games journalism is huge as well, and again, that's something which we cover. So when we look at channels like IGN, Kotaku, or What Culture Gaming, for example, again, these are big sort of distributors of digital media, which highlight latest news within the games industry and also what the latest promotions are. So there's a lot of job opportunities for young people who want to get into esports, because as a course we offer esports and digital marketing skills. The two sort of sit side by side quite nicely.
That's really interesting.
So you were saying obviously about like how like you've got the team at the college and stuff. Do you personally play yourself as well?
I do play. I don't play necessarily for the college, but I say I play. I probably don't play as much as what I used to when I was younger. But I do play a lot of single player games. I do prefer RPGs. I've got a soft spot for role playing games, such as The Witcher, Skyrim, and games like that. I do enjoy strategy games and card games as well. So I'd say in terms of like anything esports related, Hearthstone, I was quite into that a few years ago, and used to play quite a bit of Hearthstone, and I did that competitively for a little while. And Yeah, and then recently I've gotten into a game called Age of Empires 4, which they're about to release their ranked spring division actually. So that'll be quite interesting, and I'd like to take that a bit more seriously, which is like a strategy game, was released literally I think about a couple of months ago. So.
What's like your favourite game like overall though? If you had to pick one.
If I had to pick a favourite game, it's got nothing to do with esports really. It's a JRPG called Skies of Arcadia. It was released on the Dreamcast in 2000. That's my favourite game of all time. But yeah.
Cool, nice.
Would you say that COVID has definitely brought on like a much larger? I can't think of the word.
I know you mean like a larger like
use.
awareness, like and used to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the impacts COVID has had on esports, I think it's been quite far-reaching. We went through quite a difficult period, obviously, with COVID, when we couldn't really go out anywhere and we were sort of locked within our own houses. The way I think it's really been projected to the masses, really, is it's allowed people to experiment and see what esports really is all about. Because we couldn't go anywhere, and we saw other forms of entertainment and other mediums. So channels like Twitch and YouTube, I think, became a very popular sort of go-to platform for many people. And through that, they discovered the esports scene through those channels. Obviously, we had the Formula One drivers that couldn't race during the first lockdown. They couldn't actually partake in the Formula One racing. So I think the BBC had them, or there was some sort of arrangement where the Formula One players would play an F1 game. I think it might have been on the Xbox or PlayStation. And so that race was then broadcast live out to millions of people around the UK, and even I'd say in other parts of the world as well. Where when you actually look at it, you think for a second, well, actually, am I actually looking at something that is digital or is it real life? And it even caught me for a second. I thought, hang on, is this real? But it wasn't. It was the Formula One racing drivers playing an F1 game. So yeah, I think all of this is thanks to technology. I think if COVID had happened 10 years ago, I think things would have been very different. But esports I think has really grown because of COVID. So one of the positive outcomes I think from the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for joining us today, Martin. It's been good having you here, learning about the esports and stuff.
That's it, I think.
Cool.
Back to the studio.
Okay, so we're now joined by Ed, who's actually from the college, and he's here to give kind of his perspective on everything. So how are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
That's really good.
Okay, right. First question: how did you get into esports?
Well, for a long time, I've watched streamers sort of play the games that I'm fond of, so like Overwatch, Valorant, and stuff like that. And for a while, I've sort of played at a more casual level. But when I was introduced to the Braintree Basilisks team last year, playing for the Overwatch team, I wanted to sort of bump up my sort of skill level, would you say? But I wanted to just play more and more, play at a more higher level than what I was, and yeah.
So how old were you when you first started gaming? Not just professionally, just generally.
Well, my first console that got me into gaming was probably the PS2. There's a hand-me-down from my parents, and yeah, it's just started playing games like Simpsons Hit and Run, the SpongeBob. I can't remember what one it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stuff like that, and then that got me into console gaming. And obviously, as I climbed up through the ranks and wanted more and more out of what I was doing, I got into PC gaming, which obviously gave me the platform to start playing esports.
Yeah. So how old are you when you started doing it a bit more competitively?
I would say in my older teen years, so like 15, 16, that's when I obviously started getting into the esports scene, but not there completely. I found that I was more casual back then. But again, it's sort of progressed onto wanting more and more out of my my gaming career, I suppose.
Has it ever led you to kind of win any competitions or win anything from doing it?
Yeah, so I've played in a couple of like Pathfinder groups, but nothing ever serious. We got to the finals for the British Esports Association last year. We played in the Overwatch team, and that's probably the biggest one that I've taken part in. That's probably notable. So
Well done.
yeah, thank you.
Can you see a future with it for you?
I certainly see something being open to me. Again, my inspiration is streamers. So, the people who got me into like that sort of perspective of gaming was streamers. So, I want to see myself as sort of like an entertainer, playing at a higher level than most people would, and streaming it as a form of entertainment, both for myself and other people to enjoy.
Nice.
That's really nice.
So what sort of like machinery, like specs and stuff, do you need to like for your PC to do this sort of stuff?
I'd say there's a sort of entry grade level. You're looking at some PC specs from like a entry grade, I'd say like 1060s, 1070 cards to run most games that are out nowadays, because all of them are obviously getting beefier and beefier to run. But there's no real specs per se to play games on. There's a whole repertoire of different options. So,
How much does it cost? Sorry, how much does it cost to get started up?
well, again, that's dependent on what you want from your what you want out of games. Personally, for me, because again, I play at a higher level and I'm very much into it. I've spent a fair amount of money on it, but again, it's how much you want to put in to get out of it. So, yeah.
Yeah, you put in what you take out. Okay, so I think that concludes the interview. Thank you very much for talking to us today, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, and now we are getting to the end of the show where we will have our and finally section. So for today's and finally, we are going to be stacking sweets, I believe, such as Skittles and minstrels.
So you made that sound really unenthusiastic, but I feel like...
Sorry.
I feel
Today,
like
guys, we are going to be stacking sweets such as Skittles and minstrels.
Yeah.
And we have a 2-minute time frame to do it, which Ed will be
I will be timing
us.
And
Do you want
Nick,
to
would you
have
like to come on and bring the table on for us to be
Thank you.
stacking them?
Do you want me to come and help? The grand reveal of Nick,
The guy behind it all.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Have you actually been yet on camera?
Okay.
Hello. Don't forget me, I'm meant to be the guest judge, remember?
Are you guest judging?
You guest judging?
I think that's what I've been told.
Should I just
Cool.
pull them
So
out on the table?
There you go,
Yeah.
we've now got as well, we've got Lucas who's the
Hi.
guest
Oh,
judging.
by the way, just saying, we are not sponsored by Pepsi. We do not. We are Sirius Good TV. Do not bow down to any sponsor. Anyway, this episode is sponsored by Lucas Film Reviews, coming to you live on YouTube every Friday at 4 p.m. on the Seriously Good TV YouTube channel.
That was a mouthful.
It was a mouthful.
got
Nice,
that.
nice.
So basically, you two are stacking some minstrels. Is that announced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody have a clock?
Yeah, like side by
Oh.
side.
I go on.
Right.
Thank you,
Ooh.
Ed.
I'll be
See,
the
I'm hardly
the
tall enough to
judge.
actually like...
Wait, hold
Okay.
on.
20 minutes. When you want to start?
Oh, we're not starting yet, no?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
just
Give them a
inviting
second
them,
to set up.
Of course.
yeah? Okay. You'll have to tell us when to go.
Just let me know when you're ready. I'll count you down.
That was very precise.
Well, yeah. So then we have our own ones. We don't have like.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1, and go.
I don't have the
Oh,
patience
how are
for
you
this.
supposed to do this?
Has it didn't
By
actually
stacking
try
them,
this
that's how you
out
do
and
it.
like confirm this is actually possible before we started doing it? Oh. Oh, you're going like technical. Okay, right.
Chill out.
You've like inspired me now. See?
You're just gonna cheat. Oh wow, this is beautiful. It's really symmetrical. No, it's not working anymore.
Oh, this is way more difficult than what it seems.
Oh,
You got
give
a
me
minute
more,
20.
give me more.
Has anyone actually like tried this to make sure this is actually legitimately possible, or are we just kind of winging it at this point?
Legitimately.
Winging it like a chocolate biscuit.
Is that a phrase?
I've been told that you need to do a running commentary by our technical people.
Wait, what?
They've told me you need to do a running commentary.
That's my job. I do running commentary for a
You
living.
got
you know
1
what,
minute
this
left.
is not working.
How long's left?
1 minute left.
Ooh! I'm just filling up the other one, okay? Hold on, can we get a shot of me doing it?
This can't be a legitimate
Lucas, come
thing.
stand behind us.
Yes, I'm the worst co-host
Pay
ever.
attention.
Oh! Who would you say is winning so far?
Cheese.
Oh,
Captain Cheese.
this
Winning.
is impossible.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Is it to stack them as high as you can, or to stack as many as you can?
As many, I think. See, this is like really planned out.
15 seconds remaining.
What even is this? This isn't even a Skittle
Are
shake.
you eating them?
No.
I don't even be using those.
You got 5 seconds.
Oh.
4,
I think I'm just going to
3,
leave it as that.
2, 1,
Oi,
and
okay,
that's
now it's
time.
time for these.
That's time.
Who won? Who do you think
Well,
won this
you know
game?
what? I did it and then it fell.
So I would definitely say.
Round 1 is Chloe, I guess.
Whoa.
Chloe. That's round 2 now.
Wait, we're doing a second round?
Yeah, skills.
Oh, I was adding the Skittles onto mine.
You should.
Can I try one? Can I taste test it, see if it's poison?
Why would you poison you?
Yeah, why is that?
Lucas, you've been invited to do a
It's
running
not
commentary.
poisonous.
Have we now? Where?
They've just told me that you've got the invitation to do it.
Okay, where do I go?
Oh, I bit it inside of my cheek.
As high as you can get, guys.
As high? Right.
Thank
Did I
you.
even
Well,
in
it's good.
there?
We get the same amount of time.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Why would
Okay.
we
What
poison?
is that?
This is not possible.
That's
okay.
Again, when you're ready, let me know.
Yeah, I'm
Bonus
ready
round.
when everyone else is.
Okay, are we both ready?
No. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I am.
In 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, as we continue on to the round 2, let's see who can stack up the highest
Oh, this is
skills.
waffle.
As you can see, who's in the lead.
I can't believe no one's like tried this out.
Oh my
I've
god,
broken one of them.
One of them's gone
My
already.
tactic was to like break them to stack them. Wow.
What are you doing?
Okay.
Nothing.
You know what? She's delivering a clever strategy of smashing them to make them flat, which is a very, very unique tactic that I've never seen before.
Quite
Very
smart.
original.
Why am I talking like this?
Because you're presenting.
Fair enough. I feel like I'm narrating a BBC documentary. Not the good kind.
David
of course.
Attenborough.
And
Yeah,
here
sure.
we have the wild.
Here we are, where we see the seriously good host trying to stack up Skittles.
You know, I never thought the day would come. I really did.
Me too. When I woke up this morning, I didn't think I'd be watching 2 people stack Skittles.
When I woke up this
Do you know what?
Oh,
That's
no, no.
exactly what I
You
thought.
got just
didn't
about,
think
one,
I would-
No.
just about 1 minute left.
Oh, my finger.
1 minute.
No!
Wow, we've been able to stack up 3.
Dude, stop touching the table!
Sorry.
Oh, this just isn't.
Get
right.
into it. Yeah. No, stop touching the table!
It's too easy to.
Well, just run away!
You know what I'm... Hold on. Oh, so we can see here. She is smashing them again.
If you're gonna like affect the
Pretty-
table, do it on
Oh
Chloe's
my
part.
god.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I
Excuse me,
sometimes
I am a
scream when I don't need
non-biased
to.
host, except when I'm biased.
What if I just hold it up?
That completely defeats the point of it, Georgia.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it as that.
On the left.
You have 15 seconds.
No, I'm not going any further. Just, I'm just like I'll pretend to go further. See that?
I think we have ourselves a clear winner here.
That's,
up.
yeah.
We're not done.
How long have we got left?
5 seconds. 3,
Gently does it.
2,
One.
That's
And our
it.
winner is... Georgia.
Yeah.
Hey, well,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take
It
that.
ends
I'll
in a
take
tie.
that. I'll take
What
that.
do we do?
Just to leave it as that. So I'll take that. 1-1.
What have we seen?
I take that as kind of my like.
You know what? If we have any more competitions like this, we'll just carry it on from the 1-0.
Okay, yeah, we'll build it up. We'll build it up.
So we're drawing at the moment.
Right.
Cool.
It's
So
actually nice chocolate though. It's
Oh,
alright.
I'm not allowed to eat them, but you are.
You can if you want to.
now. Okay, so that concludes our episode for today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Timing that for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, and see you.
Next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Check out the weekly show next tomorrow, please. I need the views.